Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the greatest boxer tournament in Title Bout II. So we've had two bouts today, and they've both been pretty short slugfests where one fighter's definitely got the best of the other. The less said about my bracket in the tournament, the better. Matthews is actually still in pretty good shape. He's actually up on the scoring by a score of 2-0. So now we're going to move into a bracket and move into a fight that we've both picked the same person to. We both picked the same boxer to win. We're going to move to this bout right here: Lennox Lewis versus Joe Frazier. We both have Lennox Lewis winning this one, but the only way we're going to know for sure is to find out. So let's go meet our fighters. Lennox Lewis is going to be represented by John Cena in this fight. 9 and either, so we can change it up for him. When he's fresh, takes control on a 10 against either fighter, aggressiveness of 8, killer instinct 9, 90 endurance, foul on a B, defense of 2, KD rating 1 and 1, knockout of 2, cut 3, and counterpunch 5. So, not a particularly aggressive fighter, but hopefully one that can last a little bit. So, trying not to drop the pen. Endurance of 90, so I don't forget. We can move Lennox Lewis. We can move Lewis over to the ring, and we'll meet Joe Frazier. Roman Reigns is going to represent Smokin' Joe Frazier. So we'll take a quick look at him. He's a 9 and a slugger. Takes control on a 12 against a boxer, 10 against a slugger. Aggressiveness of 10, so he'll be our first player. He'll be our aggressor to start the bout. Killer instinct of 10, endurance of 110, foul rating of a C, defense of 2, KD 1 and 2 of a 2-8, so we need to be aware if Lewis is able to knock him down. Knockout rating of 1, cut of 1, and a CP and a counterpunch range of 3. 9 for power shots, which I believe Lewis also had. Yes, Lewis also had a power shot range of 9. So we can move Frazier over to the ring, and we'll take a look at the ring. We're going to try to add a named referee to the bout because I wanted to try to remember to do this referee stuff. So I've got a deck of referee cards here. The way we'll do that is each referee card will have a level on there. We'll be going on the availability rating from a random number from the boxing deck. So we'll give this a shuffle. I've also got the cornermen, but I haven't added them yet to the game. We'll give that a cut. And here's the first referee we're going to try to enlist for this bout. Terry O'Connor, who's a very lenient referee. He stops late, which we're going to just ignore that, I think. But he's a very lenient referee. He'll be available on a random number of a 1 to 70. That's a 30, so he's available. All right, so just making some notes here. Terry O'Connor. Very lenient. So he'll check disqualifications on the 6-point deduction. Right, so there's our referee. I will put him... No. I think we'll just leave him out of the ring for this one. I'll put him over here. Alright, so referee's all set. Joe Frazier is our aggressor for the first round, so let's ring the bell and start round 1. As in either boxer, Lewis has an option to either box or slug against Frazier. He's going to slug against Frazier because if he boxes, then Frazier has an extra 2 points on his control factor. So Lewis is going to go with slugging with that set up. There's the bell, and we'll start round 1. I do want to give this a quick shuffle because we had the card on top to determine if Terry O'Connor was available. I almost forgot about that, so we'll shuffle that back in. We'll give that a cut. And this will be our first card for Joe Frazier. He takes control on a 10, which that's a 4, so he'll get control there. First action. 11, just outside of range of power shot, but it's enough to land a punch. Which is 7 is good for a 2-point jab. So Joe Frazier is on the board with 2 points. Back to Frazier we go. 15 is no control. Lewis also needs a 10 to take control, 10 or less. An 8 will work for him. Flipping up a random number. 47 is a clinch. Lewis, no control. Frazier, no control. Lewis, no control. Frazier, no control. Lewis, no control. Frazier takes control. Landing another punch. And this time he gets 64, which is good for a 2-point combination. So Joe Frazier is up to 4 points. Frazier, no control. Lewis, no control. Frazier, whoops. Get back on the top of the deck. So this is back to Frazier. Takes control. 60 is a clinch. So back to Frazier. Keeps control. 73 is ring movement, so we are headed to the near ropes. Frazier, I believe, was represented by reins. Yes. So over to the near ropes. Frazier is now a +1 to take control, so an 11 will work for him. Which that's an 8, so he'll take control with that. 18 lands another punch. A 16 is good for a 3-point hook, so Joe Frazier is up to 7 points. All right, back to Frazier. No control. Lewis. No control. Frazier. No control. Lewis takes control. 79 is ring movement, so we are moving to the near corner. Lewis is now +1 to take control. A 4 will work naturally. 62 is ring movement, so we are moving to the far ropes. Lewis, still a +1, which is enough to give him control. 77 is more ring movement, so we're moving back to ring center. Lewis, no control. Frazier takes control. 78 is ring movement. We are moving. Staying at ring center. Back to Frazier. Keeps control. Foul. He is a C rating against an 11. That will almost certainly get waved off. Yes, it will. Frazier keeps control with a 6. 72 is ring movement, so we are moving back to the far ropes. Frazier, no control. Lewis, no control. Frazier, no control. Lewis takes control, but That's too late because that's the end of round 1. So 7 for Frazier, nothing for Lewis. Alright, so 7, which means Frazier wins the round 10-9. Frazier will continue to be our aggressor, so I will get the decks switched out, and we'll start round 2. No reason for Lewis to switch to being a boxer, so he will continue slugging, but Frazier will start round 2. So Frazier will start it with control. 34 is good, is missed punch, no counter punch. Frazier still in control. 46 is a missed punch. Lewis can counterpunch this time. 51 will not get it done, though. Frazier. No control. Lewis takes control. 69 is ring movement, so we are moving. Staying in ring center. Lewis. No control. Frazier. No control. Lewis. No control. Frazier. No control. Lewis. No control. Frazier. No control. Lewis. Takes control. 75 is ring movement, so we are moving. Staying at ring center. Lewis. No control. Frazier. Takes control. Lands a power shot. Okay, let's see what we've got here. KD rating of a 1 against a 1, which will be good for 4 points. So that's 4 points to Frazier. Hopefully without the action figures toppling over. Alright, then back to Frazier we go, who stays in control. 40 is a missed punch, which is out of Lewis's counterpunch range. So back to Frazier. Stays in control. 64 is ring movement, so we are moving. Staying at ring center. Frazier stays in control. 31 lands a punch. And he will land. 52 is good for a 3-point combination, so that'll bring Frazier up to 7 points. Back to Frazier we go, who will stay in control. 74 is ring movement, so we're moving. Nowhere, we're staying at ring center. Frazier stays in control. 41 misses a punch outside of Lewis's counterpunch range. Frazier, no control. Lewis takes control. 38 misses a punch, no counterpunch from Frazier. Lewis stays in control. 9 lands a power shot of his own. Frazier's a 2 against a KD rating of a 6. So 6 against a 2 is another 4 points for Lewis. Well, that's actually his first 4 points of the bout. So back to Lewis we go, who stays in control. 20 lands a punch, and he lands. 59 is good for a 3-point combination. So just like that, we are even up at 7 points apiece in the round. Back to Lewis. No control. Frazier takes control. 23 lands a punch. Frazier will land. 28 is a 2-point hook. So Frazier goes up to 9 points on the round. Back to Frazier we go. No control. Lewis. No control. Frazier takes control. We get 53 is a clinch, which is just in time for the end of round 2. So Lennox Lewis gets on the board with his first 7 points. Frazier picks up 9. 74 for Lewis and 103. But because the difference was only 2 on the round, we have to go to the judges to see how they see it. The judges are scoring the round. High, low, high. So that'll be 9, 10, 9, 10, 9, 10. Frazier picks up another win for the round. So I will get the decks reset, and then we'll be ready to start round 3. Lewis will continue to slug against Frazier, and there's the start of round 3. So Frazier will once again be our aggressor. He will start with control. 32 lands a punch right at the top of the range, so Frazier will get on board. 53 with a 3-point combination, so he'll go up to 3 points on the round so far. Back to Frazier, who will not keep control. Lewis, well, can't take it. Frazier takes control. 43 misses a punch. Lewis can try to counterpunch. A 10 is just outside of power shot range, but Lewis will counterpunch. So he'll score. 71, he'll score a 3-point uppercut. So over to 3 to Lewis. Now, I do want to double check something, because coming out of a counterpunch, I've always given control. If a fighter lands a counterpunch, I give the next control check to the counterpunching fighter, which I think is correct, but the counterpunch lands. Scoring points, yada yada yada. Require a new control factor check, but the question is, who do you give it to? When a counterpunch lands, any points found on the boxer card requires a new control factor check. So I think it goes back to the counterpunching fighter, so this would be Lewis now checking for control. He doesn't get it. Frazier will not take it either. Lewis gets control. 20 lands another punch. 77 is a 2-point uppercut. So Lewis is actually leading in points for the first round of this bout, or for the first time this bout. Lewis stays in control. 80 is ring movement, so where are we moving? We are moving. Never mind, we're staying at ring center. Lewis stays in control. 61 is more ring movement. Let's try this again. Let's see if we're moving anywhere. We are not. We're staying at ring center. Lewis, I saw the card, but no control. Frazier will take control. 34 lands a punch because of Lewis's defense. 24 is a 3-point hook, so Frazier goes right back on top for the round. Frazier will not keep control. Lewis takes it. 62 is ring movement. Last 2 ring movements had us staying at ring center, and that will continue. So back to Lewis we go. No control. Frazier takes control. 35 misses a punch, no counterpunch. So back to Frazier, who keeps control. 70 is ring movement. Let's see if Frazier wants to lead us anywhere. Nope, he'll keep us at ring center as well. Frazier, no control. Lewis takes control. That's a power shot. So over to this deck we go. Frazier is a 2 against a 4. So 4 against a 2 is 4 points to Lewis. So Lewis goes up to 9 points. Definitely got Frazier's attention with that one. So back to Lewis we go, who can't keep control. Frazier takes it. 23 lands a punch, and he will land. 35 is good for a 2-point hook. So that'll bring Frazier up to 8 points. Frazier, no control. Lewis takes control. 63 is ring movement, so where are we moving? Nowhere, we're staying at ring center. Lewis, no control. Frazier takes control. 44 is a missed punch. Lewis can try to counterpunch. 56 won't get it done. Frazier, no control, and that's the end of the round. So Lewis scored 9 points on that round. Frazier picked up 8. 66 and 94. And because we had a 1-point difference, we have to check to see how the judges scored it. So the judges are scoring it low, high, high. So Lewis will actually pick up a round. 9, 10, 10, 10, 9, 9. Okay, I'll give the deck a quick shuffle up, and then we'll be ready for round 4 with Lewis for the first time as our aggressor. It's been a pretty short day of fights when this is the longest one we've had so far. Lewis is not touching that strategy change button. He's still going to slug, and here we go. Round 4. Lewis is up first. He starts off with control. 73 starts us off with ring movement. Let's see if we actually move somewhere. No, we don't. We're staying at ring center. So Lewis will lose control. Frazier will take it. Foul. He is a C against a 37, which will probably get waved off. Yes, 37 gets waved off. No foul. So Frazier keeps control. 9 is a power shot. Lewis is a 1 against a 5, which should be 5 against a 1. 4 points to Frazier. So that'll get him on the board with his first power shot. So 4 points for Frazier. Staying with Frazier. Keeps control. 42 is a missed punch. Lewis can try to counterpunch. 41 won't do it. So back to Frazier. No control. Lewis. No control. Frazier will take it. 11 is another landed punch, so Frazier will land. A 4 is good for a 3-point jab. So that brings Frazier up, if the dial ever wants to focus, to 7 points. Then back to Frazier. Loses control. Lewis can't take it. Frazier takes control back. So this is back to Frazier. 48 is a clinch. Back to Frazier. Keeps control. 13 lands another punch. 57 is good for a 3-point combination. So Frazier is up to 10 points on the round. Frazier keeps control. 64 is ring movement. Where are we moving anywhere? We are moving somewhere. We're actually moving to the near ropes. So now Frazier gets a +1 on his control checks, which means he needs an 11. But 12 won't work. Lewis takes control. 25 lands a punch. 31 is good to get on the board with a 2-point hook. So that brings Lewis up to 2 points on the round. Lewis keeps control. 66 is ring movement. Can we get away from the near ropes? We can. We'll move back to ring center. That was not a knockdown. That was just me having problems with the figures. Lewis. No control. Frazier takes control. 36 is a missed punch, no counter punch. Frazier stays in control. 31 lands a punch. 5 is good for a 2-point jab. So that'll bring Frazier up to 12 points. Frazier, no control because we moved away from ring center. Lewis, no control. Frazier, no control. Lewis takes control. 79 is ring movement. Where are we moving, or are we? We're moving to the far corner. So we're moving up there. Lewis is now +1 on control checks, which a 15 won't help him with. Frazier, no control. Lewis, no control. Frazier, no control. That's the end of the round. So 2 for Lewis, 12 for Frazier. 92, 54 is our current endurance. So because we had a difference of 10, Frazier wins the round 10-9 again. We only had to check with the judges twice on this one. So once again, I will reconfigure the decks and we'll come back for round 5. Lewis is once more not touching the strategy button. He's going to stick to slugging, and that's the start of round 5. So Frazier will actually start with control. He'll just miss a power shot, but he'll land a punch. 15 is good for a 3-point hook. So that'll get him on the board right away with 3 points. Then Frazier will stay in control, landing another punch. This time, 26 is good for another 3-point hook. Frazier likes his hook so far this round. And coming back to Frazier again. He'll stay in control yet again. 42 misses a punch. Lewis can try to counterpunch. Lewis. 21 will counterpunch. He will land. 78 is a 2-point uppercut for Lewis, so he's on the board with 2 points. Going over to Lewis. No control. Frazier. No control. Lewis will take control. Land a power shot. Frazier's a 2 against a 9. So 9. 2 is 5 points to Lewis, so that'll bring him up to 7 points and give him the lead on the round. That got Frazier's attention. Lewis will stay in control. 10 is just outside power shot range, but he'll land another punch. 69 is a 3-point uppercut, so Lewis is up to 10 points on the round. Lewis will lose control. Frazier will not get it. Lewis will take control back. Landing another power shot. Still a 2 against an 18 this time. 18-2. So on a 1 to, so we need a KD number. On a 1 to 10, score 6 points plus a knockdown and full killer instinct. All right, so that brings me to back to this deck. So Lewis is a 12. So that's a 12, which means he'll score 6 points and add KD2 for the rest of the fights, or for the rest of the round. So Lewis will go up to 16 points. And before we continue with Lewis's next control check, I need to change my battery. We're back to Lewis on the control check. He'll lose control. Frazier will take it. Special, okay. Alright, so that'll send us into this deck to see what the special effect is. Nothing special occurs, just a break in the action. Back to Frazier. No control. Lewis will take control. Foul. Uh-oh. Alright, so he's a B. An aid will get waved off. Lewis keeps control. 76 is ring movement. Are we moving anywhere? We are. We're moving to the far ropes. Lewis is now a +1 on his control checks, which is not enough to give him control here. Frazier will not get control. Lewis will take it. Landing a power shot. This is dangerous because Frazier right now is a KD of 10 against a 4. So 4 KD of 10 will score Lewis another 5 points. So that'll bring Lewis up to 21. Alright, moving back to Lewis for another control check. He will get it. 27 lands a punch. 29 is good for a 2-point hook, so Lewis is up to 23 points. And could be threatening ending the bout if he triggers Killer Instinct here. Lewis takes control. Another power shot. Remember, Frazier's a 10 here. Against a KD of 12. So 12, KD of 10. Uh-oh. Oh, we got to check for a knockout. So score 6 points. So that brings Lewis up to 29. Yep. 29. So 29 points for Lewis. And then the K is check for knockout. So against a knockout rating, Frazier right now is a 1. Which means there's no way we're triggering the knockout, but we'll get a full killer instinct for Lewis. Knockout rating of a 10. Will not end the fight, but because there's no knockout, we've got full killer instinct, which Lewis gets 9 cards on killer instinct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which will be the rest of the round. So if Lewis lands 1 punch then the bout's over. So let's see what he's doing here. So first up on Killer Instinct. 74 is ring movement, so we're moving. Staying in ring center. Actually, does ring movement even get checked during Killer Instinct? I've been assuming it does, but it might not. Page 20. The only thing I don't check is for fouls. Yeah, I think... No, I don't think... Oh, okay, yeah, ring movement does occur, so never mind. Alright, so we're staying in ring center. Next up for Lewis. 7 is going to be another power shot, which I think will probably be enough to end the fight. He's a 10 against a 14. 14 against a 10 is another knockout chance, which will be enough to score 6 points. But more importantly, and we'll go ahead and check for the knockout. Yeah, we'll score 6 points anyway. But more importantly, once I finish getting this turned, more importantly than that, referee's waving it off in the middle of Lennox Lewis's Killer Instinct, and he's giving the fight to Lewis on a TKO. So 35-6 and for round 5. So Lewis wins with no time left in round 5, which is actually good enough to get me on the board finally. So Matthew, you and I will both pick up a point on this, which is my first point of this tournament. So your bracket's doing a lot better than mine is, my friend. But that is it for Lennox Lewis versus Joe Frazier. I might do one more bout today, but I haven't completely decided yet. Honestly, 3 bouts is a great day as far as I'm concerned in this tournament. So I'll give it a little bit of thought while I put this video together. But in case I don't come back, tomorrow we're playing Twilight Inscription, and Sunday we're playing Star Wars Outer Rim. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.